Okay. From Bhagavad Gita, we were discussing 12th chapter of second chapter. Let's see. Na te vaham jatu nasam na tvam neme janadipah na chaiva na bhavishyamaha sarve vayam atah param. So we saw Krishna was telling to Arjuna that, oh, Arjuna, there was, never was there a time when I did not exist, nor you, nor all these kings, nor in the future shall any of us cease to be. So we saw when Krishna was telling that there was no time when I did not exist. So Krishna did not exist as God. There was no such time when he did not exist as God. Or when Arjuna or us did not exist as his fragmental parts. Or not all these kings, means all these living beings, other living beings which we see, we identify that they belong to us, but no, they belong to Krishna only. So there was no time when they were not there, and there will be no time when they will not be there. So yesterday we discussed commentary by Sridhar Swami. Today we will see commentary by Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, that is Sararth Varshini. So let's see. Or, oh friend, I ask you this question. When grief arises upon seeing the death of a dear person, at that time, is the soul the object of love, or is the body? So 10.14.50 of Bhagavatam states, Sarvesham eva bhutanam nripasvatmev vallabha. That is, O king, the soul of all living beings is itself dear. According to this statement of Sri Shukdev Maharaj, if the soul is the object of love, then basically see what is mentioned here, that it was not, again, when any person, he sees a person who has left his body, and when we see that that person has left the body, so grief arises upon seeing the death of a dear person. But it's not like that person has died. It's just that soul has imparted from that body, the soul has left that body. So yes, basically, this is very interesting point. There was one devotee from Chicago, you know it. So she was also disturbed because her father was no more. She was very much disturbed. So at that time also, I tried to quote this verse to her, where I gave my own example, that I gave example of my grandmother, that how earlier when I was not in Krishna consciousness, so I also used to get affected by these incidents when any person leave the body, or I assume that they have died and they are no more. But it's not like that, because when you are seeing that, when you are saying that that person has died, so that person is what? Because you have been seeing the body of that person, but you still see the body of that person uh, laying in front of your eyes. So that body is still there, which you have been seeing throughout your life. And now that body is not conscious, so that means soul is no more there in that body. So that soul has left the body, because when the body which we have been seeing throughout our life that is still lying in front of our eyes. So, who has died? So, no one has died. This is the conclusion. So, this verse is very powerful. You can also quote this verse to any person when he's disturbed or he's in grief, he's lamenting. That who has died? No one has died, isn't it? So, this is it, that soul is always there. It was there before also, it's there now also, but it's not there in that body now. But
Yeah.
because yes.
If I could just share, what I'm realizing is that like we were sharing, like you shared, Mataji, from your grandmother, and you remembered how she taught you something, and uh, flowers for the deity, that her face is clear and all this, and in that way sometimes we remember our loved ones, something they taught us, or something that made us smile, and then we're sad. Yes, this aspect, and also like, oh, we don't have their company, and so we're feeling sorry. So maybe if anyone can understand, this is the main thing, that they are okay. They haven't gone away, they haven't died. In spirit, the spirit lasts forever. And then we have to be strong, because we have to be um yeah, we just have to be strong. We don't have to hold on to what happened before. It's very difficult because, like, we have emotions, and I think that's why people get sad. But do you think that, um, thinking that, um, well, I think you shared also that, you have to make some form of ritual so that they can pass the realm too, right? That
Yes.
So we also have to pray for them. Uh, that's what I'm remembering from, what you told us the other time.
Yes, we can pray, and we are practicing Krishna consciousness, so that is more than enough. They'll also be benefited by that. We discussed it in first chapter that our ancestors, they have been waiting from a long time, that when any person from my lineage, or my descendants, will become a Vaishnava, so that we may also get liberated from all these bondages. So yes, if we are practicing Krishna consciousness, so that is more than enough. They'll also get benefited by that. So, so yes, it's very important that a person should understand these things. Otherwise, he will keep lamenting, he'll keep crying throughout his life. Just like you also shared your incident yesterday about your pet,
Mhm.
that you were lamenting for years. So it's very important to understand these things. Okay, so now please try to understand. Okay, let's read it further. It is not so, rather, I was indeed there. Similarly, you too were certainly living souls, and all these kings were also present in the form of living souls. Through this, the absence of prior non existence of the soul has been demonstrated. It has been established that the soul is imperishable. Regarding this subject, the Shrutis also say as follows. So before moving ahead to this verse, okay, we are understanding that, okay, we are eternal. But what about future? if we will not build a nice career, if we'll not do something in our life, then how we'll be able to survive in our future? How we will be able to survive, this body? Because this is an instrument. We need to use it. We need to take care of this nicely and use it in service to Krishna. So we really have to do something for its survival. So please try to understand. Yesterday also my instructing master was talking about it, that if in 2002, when he was very new in Krishna consciousness, if devotees would tell him that only by preaching this knowledge of Krishna consciousness or Bhagavad Gita, you will be maintained. So he would not have get convinced. But now he's doing this. He's not doing any job or something. He is simply preaching, and Krishna is maintaining him. So this is very beautiful, that the one who has given us this body, he will make arrangements for its survival. Just like, just observe this thing. Krishna has made, uh, some people a medium so that we may take birth in this world, isn't it? Why we are specifically born in a certain family in which we are right now. So it's, according to his plan. And same way, he is also capable to, you know, snatch this body, basically, when we leave this body. So he will make this happen in any way. People leave this body, they in many different incidences or accidents, isn't it? So the one who has given us this body, he will make arrangements for the survival as well. We have to understand one thing, that one's source of income is not one's source of maintenance. This is very important point which one should understand, because people think that if we'll work so hard, if we will not work so hard, if we'll not earn lots of money, then how we will survive? But for survival, we really don't need much. We really don't need much for survival. We need much to fulfill our unnecessary desires. So, 2 or 3 days back, my mother was also saying this, that, to fulfill our necessities, it's important that we work hard, we earn much. Then I told her the same thing. There is a difference between necessities and unnecessary desires. So, to fulfill our necessities, we really don't need much. His Holiness Radha Govind Maharaj, when he was very young, so he was not studying. He was not studying. Instead, he was studying Srimad Bhagavatam at that time. So his mother was so much worried that, how my son will, how will we survive? How will he survive in future? He's not studying, and if he's not studying, he'll not be able to do any work for his survival. But Maharaj was saying, but see, I'm surviving so nicely. Krishna is maintaining so nicely. So it's we should not get anxious for our survival, because Krishna will make arrangements. And of course, Krishna is not saying, God is not saying that we should not do something for our survival. But if we are completely absorbed in these things, absorb means if we are giving more of our time in these things only to build a nice career and those things, then it's not good. We are wasting our time, because this human life is precious. Every moment is very precious, and no matter how much money we pay, we cannot get the time which has passed, we cannot get it back. So whatever time is left, we should try that, more and more we try to work on our relationship with Krishna. So it's very important. But, and this was the time when I was also very much anxious about my future, because this age is definitely full of passion. Everyone in this age, they are so much busy, working hard, they are studying hard, so that they may secure their future. So I was also very anxious, but when I was hearing these verses of Bhagavad Gita, his lectures, so I was getting convinced that yes, Krishna will maintain, because definitely Krishna is supreme controller, and nothing is mm, complicated for him. He can do anything. It's just very easy for him. So it's not very difficult for him to make arrangements in our life for our survival. It's just a matter of faith, and faith comes as we hear Bhagavad Gita. You know why Bhagavad Gita is so important? Because these are the words of Lord himself. So it's important for one to hear his words. Only then he'll be able to understand things. Okay, let's see this verse now. Nityo nityanam chetas chetananam eko bahunam yo vidhati kaman. This is from Kathopanishad 2.2.13. That is, who is eternal among the eternals. So see, Nityo Nityanam. Nityo means eternal. So we all beings are eternal. And in those also, uh, who is eternal among those eternals. So Krishna is, you know, how to say that? What we say? Sometimes I slip the words. Let me search. Yes, Krishna. Do you understand the meaning of chief?
Um, Chief, yes, like a boss.
Main. Chief means main. Who is main? So from all the eternal beings, Krishna is the chief eternal. I hope you get it.
Mhm.
Yes. Then next, Chetanash Chetananam, and conscious among the conscious beings. So we all are conscious, isn't it? Are you conscious? How you know it that you are conscious?
Because we are alive.
But how you know that you are alive?
The soul is residing in this material body, which makes us
Uh,
conscious.
I'm talking about experience. How you are, how you are knowing that you are conscious. Because you are able to discriminate that I exist and I am different from Eunice Mataji, or I'm different from Jayati Mataji. So I can, differentiate here that I exist and I am different from others. I exist, I have my own existence. So this is the symptom of consciousness, that I exist. So yes, Krishna is chief conscious among the conscious beings. Eko bahunam yo vidhati kaman. And Krishna knows about everyone, and Krishna is alone who, being one, fulfills the purpose or fulfills the desires of all. That is Eko Bahunam, that he is one alone, who is Yo Vidhati Kaman. Kaman means desires, who is fulfilling the desires of all the beings, all the infinite beings of the complete universe, whole universe. Krishna is, alone. He is alone responsible for fulfilling everyone's desires. And just like we don't have capability if someone has died, left the body, so we cannot put consciousness in that body. But see to Krishna, Krishna is maintaining everyone, isn't it? He's maintaining everyone means by his maintenance everyone is alive. We are not alive by our own endeavors or efforts. Krishna is behind that. Otherwise, suppose there is one disease called, is it malaria? When a person is diagnosed with malaria, so he cannot even move his hand. It's such disease. So he cannot even move his hand. He becomes so much helpless. So if by only our efforts and endeavors we are able to do everything, so when we are sick, then why are we not able to even move our hand? So one should understand that even if we are alive right now, Krishna is behind that. Even if we are doing certain job or work, so that intelligence is coming from Krishna. It's not our own efforts. It's Krishna who is giving us such strengths. Now it's so amazing that Krishna, who is fulfilling our all desires, our everyone's desires, but all the beings, they cannot even fulfill one desire of Krishna. Krishna in Bhagavad Gita, he's saying, Sarva dharman parityajya mam ekam sharanam vraja, that you quit all kinds of dharma and you take my shelter. But see, no one is fulfilling even that one desire of Krishna. And Krishna alone is fulfilling everyone's desires. So, this is so amazing. And although there is a difference between the living entity and the supreme soul, both types of souls are eternal and free from death. Therefore, the soul is not a subject of lamentation. And you know what? If any person is lamenting, it is because of his own mind. It is because of his ignorance, actually. Because any person who is free from ignorance, he will never lament. Ignorance is that, oh, I'm this body, and I may get harm, or how will I be able to maintain myself, this, that. So this is the symptoms of ignorance. So next time, whenever such emotions overwhelm you, if we lament for something, so immediately we should pause and we should become aware that, oh, it is because of my ignorance, because I am soul, and soul is not a subject of lamentation. For this reason alone, Shri Krishna is saying, Natve Vaham, meaning I, the super soul, was not in the past, it was not like this. Now here comes a note. Prag Abhav means that something did not exist before, but has now come into existence. So it's not like that. So, in his commentary only, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur has used this word in his commentary, Prag Abhav. So Prag Abhav means that something did not exist before. So it's not like that soul is Prag Abhav. It's not like that soul is something which did not exist before, but has now come into an existence. And you won't believe, there was a person, and I had a conversation with him on Zoom call. It's been, few years now. And I was trying to, discuss with him about whatever Prabhupada has told us, that how we are this soul, we are not this body. And he was completely convinced that I am not soul, I am this body. There is nothing exist as soul. He was, completely convinced, and he took, completely, he took an hour. He ate my hour, but I was not able to convince him that we are not this body, we are soul. He was completely convinced that I am this body. If I am pinching myself, I can experience, I am feeling hurt. So see, I am body. He was completely convinced, and he was trying to explain me, justify, justify himself. So it's not like that. That soul is something which did not exist before, but exists now. Has now come into an existence. Similarly, it is not that you, these kings, and I will not exist later. That is, all of us will remain present. So now, see, if we are really understanding this verse, then we'll never lament for temporary things, for materialistic things. Because material means they are temporary and they will not be there with us forever. I'm repeating this again. In our past, in this life only, whatever material attachments we had, whatever material desires we had, it only became a reason for our lamentation. Please try to remember this. Whatever attachments we had, they became those became the reason of attachment to lamentation only, because material means temporary, and temporary means its very nature of temporary things, that they will not remain with us forever. But soul is eternal, and the soul is not a subject of lamentation.
So did this person you were speaking with via Zoom believe that there is only this life?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very strange that this can be a common concept people don't even realize. Uh, yeah, I guess when we have been, I imagine in India, it's it's easy to um, know from the culture more that there is more, and that um, not specifically um, related to just the soul, but also um, the tradition. I find that it does have more reverence, more honoring everything. Like if the river is personified, it's because you want to respect it. You don't want to treat it like, it's just, like people cut down trees, and because they don't respect it. And they think, oh, it's just for um, getting by. And because they think it's just now and it's just making the most of it. Um, but I mean, I don't know where was this person from, but um,
Yes, he's from India only.
okay. Yeah, so I think because there's all these new concepts, I think it's so interesting that even in India, then they may say, oh, it's mythology. Um, some of the things, in the scripture, because how the world is influencing.
And actually,
Anyways,
this is also important. This is also important because this material world means where illusory energy of Krishna rules. So her very business is to bewilder people like this. So, when we are hearing these Mayavadi philosophies, we are not actually hearing Mayavadi philosophies, but we are hearing the, how to cut these philosophies through acharyas. So, we should try to appreciate our fortune, that how fortunate we are that we are on this path. Otherwise, possibility was there that we might also be assuming that, oh, I am not this soul, I am body and everything, whatever I'm possessing, it would remain till this life. So I need to enjoy as much as I can. And, that way, that would become another reason for bondage and another reason to take birth in this material world. So please try to understand, when we are following this path, it's not ordinary at all. Uh, the gates are already open of the spiritual world, and soon we'll get opportunity to enter into it. That's why we are on this path.
What do
Uh,
you mean by the
Chaitanya,
gate?
yes, gate means that soon we will go back to Godhead.
Uh-huh.
This is what it means, because Lord Chaitanya came to, flow his mercy, to distribute love of Godhead. And if we also got infatuated from this, uh, if we got inclined towards following this path, so it's definitely not by chance or not an coincidence. Not a coincidence, it's Lord's arrangement. So we should appreciate our fortune. So now we'll move forward to the commentary of uh, Baldev Vidyabhushan. Thus, having establishing Arjuna's lack of wisdom through his unsuitable lamentation, the Lord of all beings, Bhagwan, next speaks about the fundamental difference between the Jivas and himself to Arjuna, who was desirous of knowing the truth and was thus standing with folded hands. So we discussed this is the quality of a disciple, that he should be eager to know the truth. Only then this knowledge will come to him. That difference is established in the Shruti. So we already discussed this in the commentary. Nityo nityanam chetanash chetananam eko bahunam yo vidhati kaman. He is the eternal among all eternal beings and the chief conscious being among all conscious beings. Among the many living entities, he is the chief who fulfills their desires. Shvetash Avatar Upanishad 6.30. So, from this, see why Baldev Vidyabhushan has put this verse, so that we may understand that it's Krishna who is, maintaining us. Our own endeavors are not responsible for our maintenance. So, if we surrender on the Supreme Personality, Krishna, then why will he not take care of us? Krishna is maintaining even those who are not serving him. So, if we are devoted to him, he has special affection for his devotees. We already saw, the Gop Kumara story. So, from that Gop Kumara story, we come to know that just like how Krishna was eagerly waiting for Gop Kumar, he's eagerly waiting for all of us, that when will we go back to him? Because he loves each and every one infinitely. There is no partiality. Krishna, he never uh, do any partiality or something like that we see in this material world. He loves every living being infinitely, and he has been waiting for us from eternal time. That when will we go back to him? So when we are on this path, it is his very arrangement, because he really wants that we go back to him. And it's very very important to hear these discussions every single day, because 2 days ago when I was chanting in the morning, so suddenly I don't know, while chanting, a thought came in my mind. Is that for real? I'll go back to the spiritual world, and there would be no miseries at all. Like whatever we are working so hard here, this is also an austerity only. It's some kind of austerity that we need to uh, work hard. We need to go and get the groceries and do hard work for cooking, chopping, this, that. Lots of time, goes in that also. Um, I mean, I was thinking about this when I was sick. So I was not cooking. My mother was preparing everything for me, and I was just resting nicely, and I was having everything, whatever she was making for me. I was really relishing those days. I got extra time for my hearing and other things. Also, reflections. I was reflecting on many things. But, anyways, I was thinking when I was chanting that is it for real spiritual world? We are hearing from scriptures. Then I saw photo of Prabhupada. This book was there, and I saw Prabhupada. And then I realized that yes, Prabhupada came and he preached Krishna consciousness throughout the world, which is not a small thing. So yes, spiritual world is there, and thus once we'll go back there, we'll never fall down. So um, even if we are hearing every day, such doubts may arise, because our consciousness is such. It has been conditioned so much, compressed so much, that we became habitual of working hard, and whatever miseries or sufferings comes, we became habitual of all those things. So now believing on this, that there would be one time when there would be no miseries at all, only picnic with Krishna, so it becomes difficult to accept this, because our consciousness is compressed in such way. So then I was gazing at my screen. I was uh, seeing all the devotees who were also chanting. Then I also continued my chanting like that. So yes, thus it's very important that we understand Krishna is the maintainer of everyone, and we really don't have to worry about what will happen in future. Just focus in present, because in our hand present is there. So if you can check, are you getting your meals, daily bread, morning, whenever you have your meals, do you have enough food to eat? Do you have house where you can sleep nicely and do your bhajan nicely? And um, do you have clothes to wear nicely? If your these necessities are fulfilled, so you are very um, prosperous person, because this is actually luxury. People think that living a very comfortable life or possessing lots of things is luxury, but no, luxury means your mind is at peaceful state. This is luxury. And you can see, when you practice bhakti, you experience satisfaction with little things, and that is luxury. So it's very important to understand this thing. Okay, moving forward. Oh, Arjuna, it is not that I, the Lord of all Bhagwan. Now you might be saying that, oh, again and again we are hearing the same thing, but it's important that we hear and we digest this thing. That there was no time when I, means Krishna, the Lord of all, Bhagwan, have not existed at some time previously. Jatu, at some beginning point. I have certainly existed. It is not that you, Jayati Mataji, also have not existed. There was no time. You existed for certain. It is not that these kings, whatever people we see around us, did not exist. They exist for certain. And it is not, okay, they exist for certain from eternal time. But now it is not that in the future, at some end point in time, all of us, I means God, Krishna, you, and all these people will not exist. Eternal means we have been existing from eternal time and we will exist for eternal time. For certain, we will exist. Because the Jiva, like the Lord of all, exists in all three phases of time. It is not proper to lament concerning the Jiva. So, we discussed in our previous class also that there is no past, present, or future of us because we are souls and soul never transform because we are permanent, we are eternal. Whatever transforms is the material things or this body. So when there is no future or past, then what is the need for lamentation? That's why Sri Krishna is saying it is not proper to lament concerning the jiva, the soul. This is not just a conventional illusory difference, vyavharaka bheda, between the jiva and the Lord caused by ignorance, but which will disappear with the dawn of knowledge because Bhagwan, who is speaking, being omniscient, has no connection with ignorance at all. So now, again, we discussed this in our previous class also. Things are repeating here that Krishna is not uh, Krishna is not ignorant like us. We are eternal beings. And there was no time when we were created. But then also we assume that, I took birth and, there would be time when I'll be no more. This is the sign of ignorance. But Krishna or Lord is not uh, caused by, he is not ignorant basically. And that's why when Lord himself is telling this truth that we are eternal beings and there was no time when we did not exist or we will not exist, we have to accept this because Lord is saying this. And this is not vyavharaka bhed, means Krishna is not saying it for the sake of saying. But again, we lament because we identify ourselves with this body. For example, I have this laptop, and suppose if when I bought this laptop, it's been many years now, and suppose from the very first day, however this laptop was in whatever condition it was, very fresh on the very first day, and now also if it was in the same condition, so I would not lament. Suppose if it's not working, it's for Krishna's service. If it will not work, so it will become difficult for me to hold these sessions. So I don't pray for it. But suppose if it's not working or anything is not working, so then, because we identify ourselves with that particular thing or this body, then we lament. But suppose if this laptop is in the same condition as it was on the very first day, so I will never lament because I see no transformation in it. Isn't it? So, same way, when we are understanding from this text that soul is eternal, there is no transformation happens in soul, then what is the reason? Like, where is the scope for lamentation if we are understanding that we are eternal beings? So, it's very important to understand this point. As well, even in the liberated state, the jiva separate designation is acknowledged in the scriptures. This is illustrated by such statements as idam jnanam upashritya mama sadharmyam agata sarge pinopajayante pralayana vyathanti cha. By becoming fixed in this knowledge, one can attain a transcendental nature like my own. See, Krishna is saying this. So, suppose if we understand that lamentation will not give me anything, if we understand we are not transforming, we are eternal beings, so how much time we can save? We waste lots of our time when we become anxious about something, or if we become overwhelmed with certain emotions. So, at least from now onwards, whenever any such provoking situations comes in your life, try to become aware at that time that why am I becoming anxious? I always do this. Whenever I become anxious, so I just wonder, why am I becoming anxious? Then when I think about that reason, and then I discriminate, and immediately I get relief from that anxiety that I'm becoming anxious for no reason. I'm so foolish. So like that, we should become aware at that time whenever such provoking situations come in our life. This will help us very much to come out of that state, and we will save more of our time. And if you are not able to handle that situation, then immediately try to you know immediately you can start chanting, or immediately you can start hearing any lecture about Krishna Katha or Bhagavad Gita, and you will see when you will hear that lecture, you will get relief. In fact, you will get answers for your doubts. So try to understand Krishna Katha is the remedy of all your problems. I always do this. Right now, everything is going calm. It's not, things are not like that, because I've tried hard to adapt myself according to my family members. But earlier when I used to get anxious about little things, immediately I used to hear something on YouTube about Krishna, any lecture, and I used to get relief. So these things helps very much. And please try to understand. Krishna is saying by becoming fixed in this knowledge that I am an eternal being, nothing belongs to me here. I don't have to get, anxious about anything. If we become fixed in this knowledge, if we don't lament, then one can attain a transcendental nature like my own, like Krishna. The established One is not born at the time of creation or disturbed at the time of dissolution. Bhagavad Gita 14.2. I want you to, pause for some time and do a little meditation. Just close your eyes just now and try to meditate on every part of your body. And now try to observe that which part of this body is you. Are you the eyes or ears, hands, legs? So you will realize I am not any of the part of this body. But you know what happens when a person he keeps on talking about things related to this body or things related to material things. So he is so much in this consciousness that I am this body. People even start identifying themselves with the things. And that's why, if anything is perished or destroyed, they start to lament because they identify themselves with these material things. And what is the reason? Reason is they keep on talking about these materialistic things and this body. That's why, Mahaprabhu has said that you should quit the association of materialistic people. Because if we will associate with materialistic people, so, their only work, their only job, their only business is to give anxiety. Do you agree with this? They will uh, infuse your consciousness with such thoughts which may give you anxiety. That, oh, okay, it's good you are chanting Hare Krishna, you are doing Krishna Bhakti, but what about your future? Or many things they say because their only business is to give anxiety. So it's very important that we do not associate with them and we stay in association of devotees if we really want to save ourselves. They eat our time like anything. So, like that. One should also not say that the Lord, though actually fixed in non duality, sees difference between Arjuna and himself by invoking the theory of Badhita Anuvritti, by which the liberated soul continues to have an appearance of dualistic vision after the illusion has been destroyed, but which does not create bondage. Now, we discussed about this yesterday also, that how Mayavadis, their philosophy is that there is an impersonal Brahman, and one part of that Brahman is contaminated, but it's filled with more of goodness. And that part is God. But it's not like that because, see, first of all, this is completely bogus because this shows that there was a time when God was created and God is not there from eternal time. So this is bogus. And again, when thing is coming here, bhadita anuvritti. So that means that right now a person, we living beings, because we are contaminated, we are covered with illusory energy. That's why we are not able to understand that we are also God. So right now we are not God, but when we will, understand ourselves, when we'll be free from this illusory energy, then we will realize that we are also God. And you won't believe, many saints, many people, they get very attracted with such talks that we are also God. They become very attracted with, such philosophies. And that's why they make this the ultimate purpose of their lives, that we can also become God. But this is not possible. Never. Let's read this again. One should also not say that the Lord, though actually fixed in non duality, sees difference between Arjuna and himself by invoking the theory of Badita Anuvritti, by which the liberated soul continues to have an appearance of dualistic vision after the illusion has been destroyed, but which does not create bondage. So, this is also one theory, that this is called the theory of Brahmavadis. They think that everything is Brahman. Brahman, impersonal Brahman. You are also Brahman, and I'm also Brahman. And, everything is Brahman. That's why they say that if I am also Brahman, and the deity which I'm saying in front of me, that is also Brahman, then what is the need of offering food to Brahman? Because I am also Brahman and that deity is also Brahman, then what is the need to offer food to Brahman? Why Brahman will offer the food to the Brahman? So, like that, they are confused so much. So, you might be thinking that, oh, what are these theories? But, it's important for us to understand these things so that we may not get distracted. So, yes. Anyways, this commentary is very big. You can see in this PDF, there are 71 pages. This is the very long commentary, probably of whole Bhagavad Gita. So we might take few more days to complete it. And I will not make the sessions very lengthy because there is lots of information to grasp. So we may, conclude our session here now. If you wish to add something, then please go ahead.
Yeah, thanks, Mataji. All this is very deep. The subjects. And, somehow I've been seeing a lot near where I live. There's this squirrel that comes to visit. Squirrels, they have a bushy tail and they climb trees. And she's always so happy. And when you were saying that, uh, God takes care of us, takes care of everyone, I was thinking about this squirrel because it seems to always be in such a joyful state. And then even when it's winter and it's starting to get like darker, but then, it's better for them because there's like more of these acorns and things that come from the trees and they eat them and they, always are playing around. So I was thinking also that, like you're saying about the association to mainly devotees, because when the squirrels is uh, communicating with other squirrels, is always very happy and is they're shrieking to each other, and then but then once I notice there's a cat, and like cats are really beautiful, and I think to humans a cat is not a problem. Humans always think, oh, kitten is so sweet. But the cat for the squirrel is very bad association because the cat is causing so much trouble. Once I saw the cat was holding the squirrel in its mouth, and it was climbing on the fences very slowly. And I was so worried about the squirrel. And so I went and scared it. I hope it dropped it because it got so scared. I hope, I don't know. So maybe this happened to the squirrel and then maybe it carried on because I still see it, I see the squirrels.
Yes.
And
Thank you so much for sharing this. It's very beautiful example of how dangerous it is for us to associate with non-devotees. This example fits very nicely of squirrel and cat.
yeah,
And also,
yeah.
the one point which you mentioned about the maintenance of the squirrel, I remember there was one acharya, I don't remember his name, but he was married and he recently gave birth to a son. But now, he wanted to take renunciation, a sannyas ashrama. But then he was worried about that, oh, how will I be, like, what will happen to my son? How will he get maintained? So then, at that time, he saw uh, a small lizard. A small lizard means a baby of lizard. It was very small, and uh, that lizard got um, an insect, and that lizard immediately, ate that mosquito. So with that he got an inspiration that, see, even that baby lizard got maintained. He also got his food. He also get his food. So even he is maintained. So my lord is so merciful. If he is maintaining that baby lizard, so definitely he would also maintain my son. So from this inspiration, he left his house and he took renunciation.
Oh.
So yes, it's very beautiful because like we human beings are working hard for survival, but just look at those animals. They are not doing any job, but still they are getting maintained. They are getting their daily bread, even if they are not working. So Krishna is maintaining even animals. So only Krishna will not maintain to his very dear devotees who are, uh, keeping aside these materialistic activities and serving him. Definitely, he will maintain. In fact, he's so affectionate towards his devotees. So one should never, become anxious about maintenance. And oh, how will I get maintained? Krishna will take care.
Mm. Yeah. Yeah, so the subject of the eternal, um, I can see why we are conditioned souls. I think especially when we grow up and we get all these conditions, all this conditioning, because um, when I was a child, I always used to think that, what if, like if you're in a room, there's a wall, but then you're thinking, okay, but there's more beyond. If there's a wall, then you can still knock it, and there's more space. And then I used to think, so out of this world, so you keep going, and then there's galaxies and more planets, and but what happens? What if there's a wall, but then you can still knock that wall? I used to think all this when I was a child. Um, and I don't think so much these things now because, things are different. And um, when you're associating with, like, um, I like what the advice you gave, that if we just listen to Krishna Katha, then we feel better. Um, and some friends I have from childhood, I always feel happy to speak to them, and um, but there are some, like people that think, oh, we're just this body, and they're only thinking about um that kind of um, living, then but they're there, and there's nothing that I can do. It's they can be a bit um, yeah, not very nice, but
It's okay,
um,
we don't have to hate them because, they have such consciousness, because every person is behaving according to his consciousness. So, we should try to, if sometime you meet them, so all you can do is give them some Krishna prasadam, some water, something like that. You do your job. That's it. You need to just make sure, just like, it's I heard it, that a sadhu, a devotee, always leaves a place fragrant. Just like a rose is always fragrant, fragrant means that he will always make sure that when he is between some people or he is at some place, so he connect those people in some or other way with Krishna, maybe with food, with prasad, or maybe you may chant Mahamantra. Can I, if you have time, can I share you one very interesting thing which I did in recent potluck? I shared with you that I wanted to host a potluck, a house program, and I did it this Sunday. I was able
oh,
to guess. I used the Lakshmi that you gave, and I was able to make prasad for everyone. I also distributed Prabhupada's book, and they also gave donation for the books they got. So it was very amazing. And I introduced a very interesting activity in that program. It's related to kirtan. So what I did, there are Bollywood songs. Have you ever heard Bollywood songs?
oh yes.
Yes, okay, good. So Bollywood romantic songs especially. So you will see the melody of those songs is very pleasing melody. And if you don't know Hindi, but if one meditate on those lyrics, so they are very Krishna conscious songs. If you try
Ah,
to direct the lyrics towards Krishna, they are very Krishna conscious. So what I did this time, I made chits, and on those chits I wrote the names of Bollywood songs, and every person had the chits, and now he need to open the chit, and he read the name, and now he know that, oh, this is the song. Now challenge was to sing the Mahamantra on that melody. So everyone's consciousness, their awareness, they were so much aware, they were so much absorbed in the thought that, oh, how can I sing Mahamantra in this melody? So it was more than 1 hour when we all were singing like this in different melodies. And suppose if I got a song and I need to sing Mahamantra in certain melody, so I'll sing it in a certain melody, and others had to guess that which Bollywood song is that. So it was very fun. It was very fun. I really liked it. And it's not something which violate bhakti, because I confirmed from Yashomati Mataji, and she appreciated this idea that, wow, this is very amazing way to make youth chant holy names. So it was
yes.
So it was very amazing. So, you can also, try this. If not Mahamantra, you can try different names of Krishna. And as I told you, you have some friends which knows different languages. So maybe, you can tell them that, oh, I am learning Sanskrit and I'm learning this word. This word names means this, that word means that. So like that, you are speaking holy names of Krishna, and they don't know that they are names of God. So this way also you are connecting them towards Krishna. They hear the holy name of Krishna, and any person, if they have heard any name of Krishna even once in their life, they will never go to hellish planets.
Ah,
Yes.
very good idea. And I'm
Yes.
so happy when you said how you did this potluck.
And
It just sounds so much
you
fun.
won't believe, earlier when I was hosting these house programs, so I was also doing Krishna Katha, I was also doing Kirtan. So it was actually too much for people. They were getting bored. But this time when I introduced this activity, they were smiling so much. They were so much enthusiastic to participate in this activity. So I pray from Krishna that he may, keep giving such ideas so that I may connect people with the holy name. It's very interesting.
That is so nice.
Yeah.
Thanks for sharing.
So yes, like that. And in Prabhupada Leelamrit also I read today that Prabhupada became very happy when he see chanting in anything. So, there were some disciples of him. They wrote a song for Narad Muni. It was some song, and Prabhupada laughed so much when he heard their song, but he appreciated it because they also added Mahamantra to that song. So then, he said that, oh, you should keep composing more songs like this.
Yeah.
So he really liked when he see that there are holy names of Krishna. Even when there was some negative news about, about the kirtan or whatever Prabhupada was doing, there was some negative news in newspaper. But then also Prabhupada used to become happy when he saw that in newspaper they have also printed Mahamantra, that these people are singing Hare Krishna, like that. So then also he appreciated that. He was happy that at least they wrote Mahamantra. And many people who are habitual of reading newspaper, they will also read this Mahamantra. So they'll get liberated like that. So, if we have faith in these things, our life will become so happy, so joyful, and, we'll be enthused to connect people with the holy name.
Mm.
So, yeah.
Yeah, that's so amazing.
Anything else?
I think that's we had a very good meeting. Yeah.
All right. So we will stop here now. Thank you so much for your beautiful association. Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki,
Jai,
Srila Prabhupada ki, Jai
Jai,
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.